In the late 19th century, the Isthmus of Panama, a narrow strip of land connecting North and South America, was at the heart of a global conflict, a clash of imperial ambitions, political unrest, and national aspirations. For over a century, Panama was part of Colombia. But by the turn of the century, the small but strategic isthmus was on the verge of change. The winds of independence were in the air, and Panama's destiny was about to take a dramatic turn. The region's significance was undeniable. The Isthmus of Panama, with its ideal location, had long been seen as a crucial link for trade between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. But for Panama's people, the reality was far from ideal. The Colombian government, distant and often indifferent to the needs of the isthmus, had left Panama in a constant state of political instability. By the late 19th century, Panama's people were growing increasingly dissatisfied. In 1840, Panama briefly declared independence from Colombia, only to be reconquered. But the seeds of separatism were sown, and Panama was ready for another chance at freedom. In the backdrop, a powerful nation was quietly moving its pieces on the chessboard, the United States. The idea of a canal through Panama had long been a dream for the U.S. government. It would connect the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, facilitating global trade and boosting military mobility. But for the canal to become a reality, a stable, independent Panama was essential. In 1903, the U.S. began to show increasing interest in Panama's fate. Under President Theodore Roosevelt, the U.S. government negotiated with Colombia to secure a treaty that would allow them to build the canal. But Colombia rejected the deal, which was seen as unfair. This rejection would prove to be the final spark that ignited Panama's separation. The United States had a vested interest in a canal, and they were willing to support Panama's independence in exchange for control over the canal zone. On November 3, 1903, Panama declared its independence from Colombia. The streets were filled with celebratory crowds, but behind the scenes, U.S. warships waited off the coast to ensure the success of the secession. The United States provided military support, positioning its navy to prevent any Colombian military intervention. The Colombian government, embroiled in its own issues and wary of further conflict, chose not to intervene. Panama was now a nation. The new Republic of Panama quickly entered into a treaty with the United States, the Hay-Buenaventura Treaty, granting the U.S. control over the canal zone. The canal would be built, and Panama's future would forever be intertwined with the flow of global commerce. Though Panama was free, its sovereignty was limited. The canal, an engineering marvel, was completed in 1914, but the U.S. would maintain control of it until 1999. For Panama, independence came with a price. It would take decades before it gained full control over its destiny. Today, Panama stands as a proud, independent nation, a beacon of trade and commerce, thanks in part to the canal that connects the world. But the story of its independence is a reminder of how global powers and local struggles can shape the fate of a nation. The birth of Panama was not just about borders. It was about the hopes, dreams, and ambitions of a people who wanted control of their own future.